Frank Trotter, let's talk currencies, and we'll start with the euro. Will it eventually reach parity with the dollar?
Right now I think it's on a complete trend to go to parity. Probably by the end of the year, maybe get there a little bit sooner if there's some other events along the way with, negative or flat interest rates in Europe, positive interest rates here, the Fed looking to raise rates sometime this year when they really get over with their patience thing. It probably will go to parity.
And then the Japanese yen, it's been really hitting its head against 120. I know Prime Minister Abe wants it to weaken to 125, 130. Will it get there this year?
I think it's a reasonable likelihood that it will. They've put policies in place for almost 25 years now that's going to weaken the currency. Their massive QE hasn't really done anything in 25 years. Perhaps we should take a lesson. But yeah, we think it's certainly going to hit 125 and possibly 130 by the end of the year.
Meanwhile, Indian stocks have done very well since Prime Minister Modi took office. A lot of reforms there. It's helped the rupee. You a buyer of the rupee?
We are. And not only has Modi done a good job on the governmental side, central banks changed some policies. And I think as people move money into Indian stocks, Indian bonds, and the capital markets open up a little bit, we feel very good about the currency for the intermediate to long term.
Staying in the BRICS, Russia, the ruble, it fell as low as 70 to the dollar. It's climbed back. Now it's around 53 or so to the dollar. Good place for speculators, maybe make some money getting down to 40 perhaps?
It's definitely in the speculator camp. Where Baron von Rothschild spoke about Russia many, many years ago. So when there's blood in the streets, it may be time to buy. We think it's a good place for a speculator. It did hit that low, back in December. It was about 35 back in July. Partway back, largest gainer this month in the currency market. I think it's something worth a look by a real speculator.
And then finally, gold has really been hanging around the $1,200 mark. I guess you can say that's the support level, but it really hasn't been able to break out to the upside. So do you want to take a chance on gold?
I personally buy gold. Bought some last week. Is it it's going to be instant price change over the next couple months? Probably not. But I think at 1,200, you have some support, you have some resistance. Depends on what happens with the U.S. dollar, depends on what happens to U.S. interest rates, or if there's another crisis. Well, I can't imagine anything in the world ever blowing up again. So perhaps you might want to own a little bit of gold in that situation.
And what do you think is going to happen to interest rates? Everyone's got a forecast for the Fed. You might as well get yours.
Sure. Well, as you know, the forecasters get it right about 40% of the time, so I'll toss my coin and see if I can beat them. We do think that rates are going to be up by the end of the year in the short run. The Fed has had extraordinary patience. Inflation is getting closer to their initial goal. And after all, you wouldn't want your money to be worth more. You'd want it to be worth less. So I think inflation going higher, dollar actually up, which is a great thing for a U.S. buyer. Yeah, we think that probably they're going to move it up by the end of the year.
All right. Thanks a lot, Frank.
Have a great day.
Thank you for watching The Street.